My name's Adams Kerosi, a Kenyan by nationality. I arrived in Finland in the year 2018 to study or to pursue my master's degree in international business management, which I completed this year in May. And upon my graduation, I was able to get an opportunity to work with the projects more or less related with what I did for my thesis, my developmental work, which was more about developing student entrepreneurship. Currently, I love reading a lot of material. I'm more into reading journals, international news and that kind of stuff. I watch a couple of movies here and there or series. My interest in life, or rather my goals, is to develop my career along the lines of entrepreneurship. I'm looking forward actually to motivating students to be able to be entrepreneurs. And by entrepreneurship, I don't necessarily mean starting your own venture, but entrepreneurship is more about thinking. How are you able to think, looking for solutions towards challenges in life and filling that gap? So based on my interactions with a lot of students, I've seen the student organization in Finland, how they organize themselves, the entrepreneurship movement. It's pretty much active and well developed compared to places that I've been before, whether it is in Kenya. I've visited Russia and I've seen how the entrepreneurship ecosystem is organized. And I've come to appreciate that in Finland, student entrepreneurship organizations are well organized and they add a lot of value to students because the students get the platform, to present their ideas. They get the platform to share their concepts. And it is actually through this kind of entrepreneurship societies that they're able to, develop those ideas and elevate them to the next level. So entrepreneurship societies, when they go cross-border, or when we talk about the international entrepreneurship ecosystem, there are more benefits to it because it's like marketing yourself to, or rather exploiting new ventures outside the cross-border. So students will be able to learn about new models, how to develop new concepts, how to have this kind of hybrid what we talk about hybrid innovation. When you have people from different ecosystem merging with somebody from another ecosystem, then you are able to breed a totally new kind of idea. And that is quite enriching because you look at some cities, especially in Finland, like Helsinki, Turku, and Tampere. These are big cities, and the entrepreneurship culture is much more developed, basically because they are more cosmopolitan. And when you look at the cosmopolitan aspect, that means different people from different backgrounds with different cultures. It's a melting point for people from different backgrounds and cultures. Being a melting point, then also the ideas sort of get in one kettle, one pot, and from that you are able to get better results. So that basically, in summary, tells you that when you look at it from the perspective of a cross-border entrepreneurship community, when you take advantage of a cross-border kind of relationship, then you are able to get better results, better ideas, better entrepreneurship concepts. The challenges that I would say I've observed is basically on cultural grounds. It could be a language, it could be how people relate with each other. But once you are able to overcome such challenges, then it becomes easy. But the most important thing is these international networks or cross-border kind of networks, they are basically important in the sense that if you want to establish your business venture, your enterprise, it is actually through these kind of networks that you are able to access the international market. So it is really important to have these international networks. But before you get to venture into these networks, it is important also to be cognizant of the fact that there could be cultural differences, and how do you overcome this kind of differences. So doing some background research, some background information check about the cultures might be of a lot of significance to an entrepreneur. The gap that I've currently observed within the Kymenlaakso region is that upscaling startups or entrepreneurial ventures is quite a challenge. Students have ideas, they go for pitching or they participate in startup activities, whether it is a pitching events, whether it's accelerator programs. You have winners, yes, you have people who are runners-up or startup teams that are runners-up and second runners-up. But what happens thereafter, after the event or after the activity? We need a system, or we need to find a way of developing those teams or those startups to be able to actualize those concepts or those ideas, the business ideas that they had in mind, into something tangible, into a kind of a real-life venture. So what has been the most disappointing thing, so to speak, is the fact that after the completion of those activities, the students or the startup teams are just left to, wander in some kind of not knowing what to do. So that is one thing we need to bring the stakeholders together, and we find a solution on how we're going to empower these students with those ideas, how they can take them forward. I've benefited in the sense that one, through my studies, I got a lot of support from the Xamk R&D department, mostly working on student entrepreneurship activities, and through that I was able to build very strong networks. And it is through those networks that I've been able to get to do this project work that I'm working on developing a cross-border student entrepreneurship community between Finland and Russia. Through my interactions, I've met a lot of people, opinion makers within the entrepreneurship ecosystem. I've been able to get different perspectives, and those perspectives, the insights that I've been able to gather are really, really critical for me. Yeah, my advice basically goes to the student fraternity, because you look at it, I look at it from this angle that not all of us will be able to get opportunity to work in a kind of a formal setup and a formal employment. But if you're entrepreneurial, you have ideas, you can be able to develop those ideas and become self-employed. And it's not an issue of getting self-employed. For those who will be privileged to get an opportunity in a formal and working environment or formal job, the management of the job will also require people or students who are entrepreneurial in nature. And by entrepreneurial, we are talking about people with an open mind. They can come up with solutions. They can be their own managers. They're given tasks and they're able to deliver the results. So if you are entrepreneurial enough, you are able to understand what are the key performance indices that are required of you, and you can be able to deliver them with a lot of ease. So it's all about the mindset. Never give up in life. There is always an opportunity for everybody. It doesn't matter your background.